Hello, Ricky Hunt here. I just wanted to share a few minutes of encouragement. Hopefully, it would be encouragement to you. Right now it's 7 p.m. Where you at? It may be a little bit different, but for some people, it's 11:59. You may be asking, wondering why I'm talking about 11:59. Well, some of you know what I'm talking about, 11:59, because it's at that midnight, almost midnight hour, and you need a breakthrough. So sometimes, it seems like we're at that place of 11:59, and then God comes through and there's a breakthrough. Now, if you're like me, I like to see answered prayer. I like to see those breakthroughs before it gets 11:59. But know this and understand this, that God is faithful. Whether it's 11:58, 11:59, or whatever time it is, God will come through. He will not leave you hanging. God will come through always. So at that time that we're, could be frantic and beginning to panic and so forth, just stay calm. Just stay at a place of focus on the Word and hold on to the peace of God. Hold on to the promises of God. This is a time when it seems like time is getting late and it seems like the clock is ticking, that we need to stay focused on the Word. If it's your health and you need a healing, you need a breakthrough in your healing, instead of thinking about how bad the situation is, we need to look up scriptures like 1 Peter 2:24, with his stripes we were healed. Or Matthew 8:17, himself took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses. Many, many scriptures on healing. Because if you don't stay focused on what the Word of God says, you'll be counting the minutes. You'll be counting the time. And it will cause you to begin to panic, and it'll cause fear. It'll cause worry. It'll cause anxiety. And guess what? That's going to make things worse. That's especially if it's an area of your health. Your health is not going to flourish then if you're worrying and panicking and full of anxiety. So we stay focused on the Word of God. And even though it seems like it's almost 11:59, it seems like it's almost over, I want to tell you it's never over. If you stay in faith and you stay focused on the Word of God, God will always come through. So sometimes it does seem like, the time has went on and it's 11:59. We've been praying for some breakthroughs in our finances and in the ministry. We've sold our business, and now we're doing some things in the ministry that takes money, and we're believing for some financial breakthroughs and as far as that goes. But there's one area that we had sold some mineral rights here about 7 months ago. Well, this should have went through almost immediately. It shouldn't have took but just a few days. It took 7 months. And boy, did it ever seem like it was 11:59. And finally, the other day, we got this check in where we got the money for those mineral rights. But there's all kinds of things that went through my mind, went through my wife's mind, if we're ever going to get this, or if they're trying to scam us out of our money, or, all kinds of thoughts. What do we do when we're at that place? It's just like I said a while ago. You've got to stay focused on the Lord and focus and know that God's going to come through. He's never late. Even though sometimes it seems like it's 11:59 when he comes through, he will come through. One thing I've learned also is that when God comes through and there's a breakthrough, like it was for us, even though it took 7 months to get this check in, it was a fairly sizable check. Once we got that breakthrough, you know what? We begin to see some other breakthroughs. We begin to see finances begin to come in. I went to the mailbox today and opened it up, and there was an unexpected letter from somebody that I was not expecting a check for, and there was a $500 check in there. So there was a breakthrough, a major breakthrough in our finances there, and now it begins to come. It begins to trickle in more and more. I'm thankful for the $500 checks, but I'm very thankful for those $25 and $50 checks also, because that's where we see more and more of those checks, coming in, especially when people start giving into our ministry. And so we appreciate everything that comes in. But I'm telling you, whether it's your health, whether it's your finances, you're looking for a job or whatever it may be, and it seems like nothing opens up. My son and daughter-in-law, they're going to be moving here to Conway, Arkansas here sometime this summer. And my daughter-in-law has been applying for jobs. Nothing has opened up yet. And I talked to her this evening. I said, does it seem kind of like it's 11:59? She said, yeah. She said, I don't want it to get to that point, though. I want to see a breakthrough before. And we're all that same place. But if we don't have a breakthrough before 11:59, be comforted, know and understand that God's going to come through, even though it may be right there at the last minute. God is faithful and He will come through. I've been serving the Lord for 34 years, and I've watched Him over and over and over and over come through. And sometimes it seemed like it was 11:59, but I have learned over the years now that even though the time may seem late, He's going to come through for me. I just have to stay in faith. I have to be putting my trust and my faith in God, knowing that, hey, everything's going to be all right. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going to stress about this. He is going to come through because He is faithful. We have to ask ourselves this question: are we faithful? Are we faithful to stay in the Word? Are we faithful to stay focused on what the Word of God says? Are we easily distracted, pulled away from the Word, pulled away from, standing on this promise here? So, there will be all kinds of distractions that will come our way, but we got to stay focused on the Word, and you will see a breakthrough come through. And when that breakthrough comes through, be sure and understand this: hey, a breakthrough just happen. Now here comes a lot of other things, smaller breakthroughs. It's going to begin to flow into your life, whatever it was that you needed a breakthrough. Some of you need a breakthrough in your healing and your health. So you know what? Once you get that breakthrough, you're going to begin to see your health get better over and over. You're going to see breakthroughs in other areas of your health. If it's your finances, there's going to increase. Increase is going to come after you have stood the test of time and you have not given up, even though it's been 11:59. So I encourage you this evening to stand on the Word of God. God is faithful, and He will come through.